So, oh my gosh, this episode was crazy and so many different things happened, and I thought it was another excellent episode. So, we start out with Trina from the club, or this is early on into the episode. She runs into Allison like at this restaurant, and she thinks that she's Beth, and she's angry with her, and she's like telling her that there's something going down at a fertility clinic that is super shady. So, immediately they want to start looking into that. So, there was a couple of emotional scenes dealing with Donnie and Allison wanting children, and one of those was when Donnie told Helena that it was just super sad for them because they had tried to have kids of their own, and that didn't work out, and it was very bad for them. Now, I was thinking immediately at that point that they would end up raising Allison's twins, or Helena's twins, but then some other stuff happened later on in the episode, and I really don't know what is going on with Helena, so it just seems like there's kind of some foreshadowing that they will be the ones raising the twins, and I kind of hope so, because we know how you can't really trust Helena, and you never know what she's going to do. So the crazy thing about that worm that was in Dr. Leakey's cheek is that it's actually still alive, because Cosima and that other guy were like testing it. I can never remember his name, even though he was on the after show for this week, but anyway, those things are super creepy, and of course we know that Sarah still has hers in her cheek, and they're trying to find someone to extract that. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that we still haven't heard anything about Delphine, whether she's alive or dead. Like, I'm 90% sure she's alive, but why do you think they haven't talked about this? Why are they waiting this long to tell us? Do you guys have any ideas about that? Because I feel like that's probably pretty important. So Donnie and Felix go into this fertility clinic pretending to be a couple so that they can pretend that they want to conceive a baby, you know, obviously with some help. And this is their way of trying to figure out what Trina was talking about, because they figure it's probably connected to Dyad and to something that Leakey had been working on. So MK is like all over the place in this episode, and she no longer trusts Sarah because she knows that Sarah's been dealing with Ferdinand and she hates Ferdinand, and we find out why a little bit later, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with Sarah anymore, and she doesn't want to talk to her anymore. So, okay, there's this woman that Allison knew who could never get pregnant, and she finally is pregnant, and so Allison has another very emotional scene where she cries, and I think she actually meant this, because she said, you know, I tried everything, I just want to have a baby of my own. And finally she gets the woman to tell her that there was this technology used called Brightborn, and she tells her the doctor that she needs to ask for, so she passes that along to Felix and Donnie. I don't know if we've heard this before, but they said in this episode that there are 22 total clones of Sarah that we know of, you know, clones who look like Sarah. Okay, so I don't understand this, but Helena has like left Donnie and Allison's house, but they don't realize it yet, and she's telling them bye, and she's packed up, and I don't know why she's doing this or where she's going, but I think that's a really bad move, because she's pregnant and she's just not trustworthy with other people, and who knows what kind of trouble she'll get herself into as well as the baby, so she's really scaring me. So it turns out that MK has been tracking Sarah because she doesn't trust her. She's tracking like so many people. She's like a super genius. Alright, so Cosima and the guy whose name I've forgotten, forgive me, I know you guys will tell me down below, figure out that those worms were actually able to modify DNA. So it's even worse now that there's one inside Sarah's cheek, because who knows what it is doing to her DNA. Like, that is super, super scary. So MK has this big plan that no one knows about, and she has lured Ferdinand into Sarah's apartment, and he thinks he's meeting Sarah, but it's her. And she's like strapped a bomb to his chair and pours gasoline all over him, and basically she wants to get revenge because there was another clone named Nikki who we didn't meet that he burned alive, and this was like one of her best friends, so she wants to do the same thing to him. Basically, they find out about this, and Sarah comes just in time, and she's like, look, I need his help because I still have this worm in my cheek, plus he saved my life, and I know that he's a garbage person, but we need all the help we can get with this worm situation. But MK is just really not listening and doesn't really care, but finally she decides not to set him on fire, but not before she takes like his $3-something million out of his account and takes off. So now she's on the loose, Helena's on the loose, and MK is kind of a loose cannon, kind of in a way like Helena, but different. Like, she's probably more stable than Helena, but you just never know what she's going to do either. So we finally find out that Brightborn is a way to make like perfect humans, I guess, and I don't know if there's any kind of cloning involved in that. I would assume so, but I guess it's the way to make a baby that, with your specifications, probably to make them stronger and look a certain way, maybe like super beautiful, and whoever's opinion that's having the baby, make them a boy or a girl, and like their eye color and all that, they can probably figure out. So it's probably kind of a sinister thing and not a great thing, but that's kind of where we were left at the end of this episode. So I would love to know what you think about the episode, because I loved it, but there's just so much going on with this show and so many different storylines, and I'm very, very concerned for Helena because I love her. She's so funny, and I don't know what she's doing out on her own. And of course, the Delphine question is just driving me insane. Why aren't they telling us? There has to be a reason. I'm wondering if she is some sort of villain or if she's being held captive somewhere while she's recovering. I really don't know. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. If you love Orphan Black, I'm covering the entire 4th season. I would love for you to hit that thumbs up on this video and to please subscribe to me. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.